Hey you guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you guys what I do as like a regular, just like everyday makeup routine. It's not going to be too like glamorous, but it's also not going to be too like toned down or whatever. So yeah, I'm going to show you guys exactly what I do, and if you like this video, be sure and subscribe to this channel and like this video. And if you guys want to see anything or you want to request something for me to do, whether it's a Q&A, makeup challenges, anything like that, put in the comments below and just let me know exactly what you guys want to see and I'll get it done. I started off already. I have already put it's the Angel Bell primer by NYX, and it's one of my favorite primers just because it's very like lotiony feeling, and I absolutely hate when primers are like silicone-y feeling. This one's very lotion-like and very hydrating feeling, and I really like that because I have really dry skin, especially in the winter. I mean, a lot of people probably do, but so I'm going to next start off with this is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. I'm in the shade Cream Beige, and this is definitely one of my favorite foundations because, let me put my hair back. This is one of my favorite foundations just because it has really good coverage at the same time as being very lightweight. So I start off by putting this all over my face. I really like this foundation just because it's very, I mean, the one thing I don't like about it is that it is very paint smelling, and I just use the Real Techniques fake beauty blender. It's the sponge that they have. I'm just gonna start by bouncing it everywhere. I mean, you can kind of already tell how it like kind of smooths out the skin, and it gets rid of like any discoloration because of how like much coverage it has. So
done with it.
Next, I'm going to use the Tarte Shape Tape, and I am in shade Light Neutral. And this baby is not very cheap, but
your girl ain't cheap either.
So I really like to use this. I mean, yes, it's very expensive, but I mean, this concealer, it definitely hides the bags and it helps with discoloration, and I just kind of tap that out. And this is wet, by the way. I like using wet sponges just because it doesn't soak up any of the product. Well, it does, but it soaks up a lot less product. Underneath the eyes, a little bit out to the hairline too for extra highlight. And I like to bring it, whatever's left on my sponge, I like to bring it up on the eyelids and to use that as a eyelid primer. I know a lot of people get their own eyelid primers, but I mean, to me, I kind of feel like it does the same exact thing. Next, I'm going to set everything I just did. This is the e.l.f. It's like a translucent powder, and I really like this powder. Definitely because it's very inexpensive, and I really like the Coty Airspun too. I've heard really good things about it. I've never tried it, and I really want to try it, but I can't find it at any of our drugstores nearby. I don't know why, but I can't find it. So I'm going to put this in all the places that I put concealer, so none of it creases. Done with that, and I like to set the rest of my face that I didn't touch with that powder. I like to take the it's the Stay Matte by Rimmel 004 Sandstorm. So I like to just take a big fluffy brush, I swirl it around, and I put it in all the places that I didn't put the other powder. Here. Yeah, alright. Excuse me. So next, I like to do my eyebrows. This might take me a while because I take a really long time doing my eyebrows, but I just typically follow the line of my real eyebrow. Oh, by the way, it's the Brow Stylist Definer. This is by L'Oreal Paris, and it's the like ultra fine one. And this is probably my favorite drugstore eyebrow pencil. I just drew a blank. So. Okay. Brush that out to make it look a little more real. So far, I just do my eyebrows quick like that. Next eyebrow. I've got a lot less hair on this eyebrow, so it takes me a little bit longer to make it look more real. Alright. Even enough. They're definitely sisters, not twins today. So, I had already used that concealer as my eyelid primer because I don't really like using eyelid primer just because I feel like concealers do the same exact thing. I'm going to start with my eyes next, and I'm going to be using the Morphe palette. This is the 35F. It has a lot of shimmers. If you're a gal that does not like shimmers, then this is not going to be the palette for you. But this is the most beautiful palette I have ever seen, because you see all these cranberry shades, and you see all these bronzy colors in here. Those are my favorite colors of all time. So this definitely caught my eye when I saw this palette. This was definitely my favorite palette that I saw on Morphe, or it's at least one of my favorite ones. That is definitely one of my favorites. If I can find the brush I normally use. Okay, so first, I'm going to lay down just like a normal base color. So I'm going to take this color right here. It's just like, we didn't see that. Right there. Right there. And so I'm going to use that as like an overall like eye shadow. So I'm just going to, there's a mirror right here. This is the reason why I'm looking right here. So I'm going to brush that all over the lid. Coat the whole eye with it to like soften up that concealer to make everything blend just a little bit better. So that's my base that I have down. Alright, next I'm going to take my transition shade that I use, and it's this like brown right here. Just going to blend that all over the eyelid, going back and forth with windshield wiper motions, just like normal, just like I was doing with the other color. And I like to do little circles right here on the outer corner. I'm going to go in with the other eye, do the same exact thing. Windshield wiper motions, circles. You can do what you want, honestly. That's just how I do mine. That's on. Okay, next I'm going to take a brown color right here, and I'm going to use that in the outer V of my eyes. I really like to use this to darken up the eye look just a little bit and to give a little bit of definer in that crease. Just little circles around, making that V, and bringing the rest of whatever I had left in the inner corner. So circles around like this, and then inner corner, and then windshield wipers. Same thing on the other eye. And I like to tap off the excess so I don't get too much. You can always layer it, but you cannot take away. So just doing the same thing as I did on the other side, bringing it into the inner corner and in that inner V. So next I'm going to switch palettes now. And this is the next palette I'm going to use is the Laura Lee Los Angeles Cat's Pajamas palette. Ooh mama, look at that glitter. I'm going to take the color Scatterbrain right here. It's a really, really pretty gold color. I just like to take it on my finger because you honestly get the most pigment out of your fingers, I think, because of the oils on your finger. And wherever I didn't put any eyeshadow, I'm going to layer that right there. And this, honestly, like to me, this color doesn't really need water to do this. Such a pretty gold. So, Next, I'm going to go back into the Morphe palette, and I'm going to take the same like brown color that I used on the outer V's of my eyes, and I am going to just darken that pigment back up on the outer corners, because sometimes when you put pigment like this, the glitter can kind of take away from that darkness of the outer corner. So I'm going back over it just to add a little bit more pigment on the outer corner. Just like that, just kind of blend it in equally. Next thing I'm gonna do, I'm going to take this, the lightest shimmer in the palette. I'm going to use that to highlight my inner eye, like the inner corner of my eye. Like that. I just use my finger. That's the easiest way to get the best pigment. So like that. It just completely opens your eye up, and I think it makes a world's difference. So I'm going to next I'm going to do eyeliner. I have just started trying this eyeliner out, and this is probably my favorite eyeliner that I own. This is the NYX matte liquid liner. Looks like this. It is it's a brush tip, which I used to never be a big fan of brush tips like this, but I've actually fallen in love with this because of how like matte this is. I absolutely hate when liquid eyeliners dry down shimmery. I just don't think it's very flattering. I like a nice like matte eyeliner. I'm going to line the lashes on the upper eye. Just to line the eyes just a little bit. I'm gonna do the same thing on this other eye. Just like that. I think it just makes a huge difference with the whole look. So it just dropped. Okay, so typically whenever this like starts drying down, I like to do like my face powders. I like to take the Hoola bronzer from Benefit. I typically just dab into it, tap off the excess, and go in real lightly because this is a very pigmented color. I like to take it up to the temples, and I like to do circles. I like to take it to the jawline to sharpen up that jawline just a little bit. Tap off the excess and do the same thing over here. And one more time and do the jawline. Okay. Now I'm gonna do the forehead because you don't want a very, very pale face. Okay. Here's getting flat. So after I do that, I'm going to take this Wet n Wild blush. It's in Pearlescent Pink. This is probably one of my favorite ones. Wet n Wild blushes are very, very pigmented. So, and this one actually has a lot of shimmer in it, so you have to be kind of careful because typically shimmery blushes kind of open up, like, not open up your pores, but they make them look bigger. And that's the last thing you want. So I'm going to swirl this around a little bit, tap off the excess, and just do very, very light strokes with it because you don't want to look like a clown. Tap off the excess, and the same thing on the other side. And so the shimmering doesn't really show up too much. So if you're worried about that, it doesn't really show up too much. And I like to take the same brush that I used to do the all over face powder, and I just kind of, I don't dip back into the powder. I kind of just do this to even everything out, make sure everything's blended like that. So last thing that we have to do is mascara. My favorite mascara is the Voluminous Original by L'Oreal. This is probably everybody's like go-to because it's very black, and I really, really like very, very black mascara. I'm gonna curl my eyelashes just a little bit. I know a lot of people aren't a big fan of curling eyelashes, but I think it just absolutely, it makes the world's difference with this. So if you're not a girl who likes, I just pulled out like half my eyelashes. If you're a girl who doesn't like curling their eyelashes, that's fine. But this is probably one of my favorite mascaras just because It's very, very black and I really like it. I'm not trying to make it too fancy. I just like to do regular mascara like that. And I'm going to let this dry just a little bit, and I'm going to curl my other eyelash, and I'm going to add a second coat to that other eyelash. Ooh. I'm going to add a little bit more mascara to this other eye just to thicken it up just a little bit. Not a big fan of like the spidery eyelashes, but I like just a little bit of like thickness to my eyelashes, but I also don't want like disgustingly clumpy eyelashes. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye. And I like to make sure these outer ones are like more curled upwards. So second to last thing, I'm going to do lips. This is the Revlon Ultra HD matte lip color. I'm not really sure what color this is. Really pretty, like mauve-y nude. I'm a very big fan of like mauve-y nude eye colors. Liquid lipsticks. So last thing I need to do is put a little bit of setting spray on. This is the Pixi Skin Treats. This is the Glow Mist, and this one's okay. It's more oily than I would like it because it's more glowy, obviously, but that's okay. Okay, so after that, I just take like just a regular sponge, and I like to pat it into the skin, just because I think that the mist just kind of like hangs on your hair, the baby hairs on your face. So I just like to pat that in like that. I pat it in to make sure everything is snatched. So, I mean, yeah guys, that's it. That's the look for this video. This is definitely a little bit more vamped up makeup, everyday makeup look. So I hope you guys liked this video. Make sure you subscribe below and like this video if you liked it. And leave a comment below. Whatever you guys want to see next, like any skincare or anything like that, let me know and I will be sure to jump on that. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you my next video. Bye guys.